This might be one of the weirdest genre mashups I've played recently, because early on this feels like a dark sci-fi game about exploring strange places and finding your way forward. Then combat completely flips the vibe. You're a prisoner assigned to explore a lunar structure called the Abyss in order to reduce your jail time. Early on, the Metroid Prime vibes were strong. You're navigating this dark labyrinth-like structure, opening paths by clearing infestations. Your gun quickly locks onto enemies, and doors open by shooting them. There's a lot of jumping and squeezing through tight spaces. Initially, it feels like you know exactly what kind of game this is. Then enemies start attacking. And I was totally caught off guard by how this game actually plays. Enemies fire off unique projectile patterns that flood the screen and come at you non-stop. Suddenly, this becomes a twitchy bullet hell. You're weaving through enemy fire while shooting down enemies as fast as possible. Ammo isn't something you manage either, your gun just cools down. But it doesn't stay that intense. You reach checkpoints that restore HP. Along the way, you pick up codex entries and slowly start uncovering what exactly happened here. And revealing the story is what keeps pushing you forward, because the deeper you go, the harder it gets. New enemy types start showing up with more advanced weapons and defenses. The screen turns into a light show of projectiles. And eventually, avoiding attacks alone stops being enough. The Abyss provides. New powers are introduced to deal with the threat. A finisher lets you turn enemies into health, or detonate them and damage nearby enemies instead. New weapon types appear with different ranges and firing styles. Some enemies activate shields that only specific weapons can break. They're stronger, but they also have longer cooldowns. Then movement starts evolving too. You unlock new defensive tools and mobility options. You can deploy barriers to shield yourself from enemy fire. Dashing and double jumping make surviving much easier. And outside of combat, these abilities become just as important, because this game is heavy on platforming. You'll encounter moving platforms, some even vanish, and some areas can only be reached through grappling or launch pads that send you ridiculous distances. This might sound disorienting for an FPS, but movement feels surprisingly fluid. And since platforming requires precision, responsiveness matters a lot. But walking isn't the only way to move through the Abyss. You'll possess mechanical beings to access new areas, ride rails to reach destinations, and eventually everything builds toward the thing constantly blocking your progress. Boss fights. This is the true bullet hell. You're using every weapon, every ability, every movement option you've learned. Dodging waves of enemies while bosses flood the screen with projectiles tests both reflexes and decision making at the same time. You're as much a prisoner as you are an instrument for your handlers. As a fan of Returnal, this has a similar feel but from a completely different perspective. Translating bullet hell action into a first-person shooter is honestly impressive. The brooding atmosphere and world building kept me interested the whole way through. After rolling credits, there isn't much else to do, but honestly, I'm good with closure. The overall package felt cohesive and polished. Adjusting difficulty could probably help refresh repeat playthroughs, and completionists can still hunt down collectibles. Turns out this weird genre mashup actually works. And if games like this interest you, I've got a bunch of videos breaking down indie and AA games I think are worth playing. So check out the channel and tune in every week for something new. Luna Abyss is Backlog approved.